Hey students, welcome back to our online class. In the previous class, in the previous video, what we have done, we had a discussion on the elixir of life up to the 10th paragraph, isn't it? Yes. Which paragraph? 10th paragraph. So now it is a time to begin with a new paragraph, that is 11th one. So what is there in the 11th one? Let's see. Okay. It is evident. It is evident means what? Proven. It is evident, however, that in a country having only seasonal rainfall, an immense quantity of rainwater must necessarily run off the ground. The collection and the utilization of the water is therefore of vital importance. So already you know, many of the countries, almost all the countries, they have seasonal rainfall. Seasonal rainfall means what? So here, from June, July, August and September, up to the September, what will be there? What will be there, students? It's a rainy season for Indians, isn't it? Like that, in a different times, in a different countries, there will be a season like that. So when the rainy season will be there, for example in India, so what happens? Lot of water we will get, right? Lot of the rainwater we will get. So what is the main problem C.V. Raman is demonstrating through his paragraph is, he is saying there is the problem. What is that problem? We are not conserving, we are not saving the water. The water is directly just moving to the sea. So it is wasting. That is the thing the C.V. Raman is saying here. Okay, much of it flows down into the streams and rivers and ultimately finds its way to the sea. Of course, first what happens? It goes to the streams, isn't it? Yeah. So rainwater first goes to the streams, then it goes to the rivers. At last, the way of the rivers is to the seas. Okay. So when the good water, the sweet water, what you can say, the good water or the not a salty water, when it mixes with the sea water, what happens? It also becomes salty. So when it becomes salty, it will not be able to, we will not be able to use such kind of water, right? The harnessing means conserving, storing, saving. Okay, the harnessing of our rivers and the water of which now mostly run out to waste is a great national problem which must be considered and dealt with on national lines. So what they are saying, so presently the rivers what we have and see, and the rainwater, both the things we have to harness, store properly. If it goes to the sea, what happens? The water will be wasted. So instead of that, we are also planning many, we have constructed many dams, water reservoirs. Yes, you know that, water reservoirs, right? Nearby us, which is the famous, water reservoir, Almaty water reservoir is the nearby famous water reservoir for us. Like that, we are also planning. But what C.V. Raman is saying, that is a very important thing. What we have to take initiative, right? We, the people of India, we have to think about it and do some or take some measures, right? Yeah, we are here. Then, the vast areas of the land which at present are merely scrub jungle could be turned into fertile and prosperous country by courageous and well-planned action. So, dear students, you might have seen most of our land are barren lands. We won't, some are there, fertile lands also there. So what you call muddy, so like a kind of place what we have there, you might have seen some thorny plants, unnecessarily grown up, the waste. You might have seen such kind of plants. Now what we can do, we can turn such kind of places into, such kind of things into fertile lands. When we make it fertile land, what we can do, we can, to make it a fertile land and to do something with that, we have to take a very courageous step. Then only what we can do, we can, address to such kind of problems. Okay, so we are going to the 12th paragraph right now. Closely connected with the conservation of water supply is the problem of afforestation. Afforestation means what? Converting a land into a forest. That is called afforestation. So if you want to conserve the water, first what we have to do? We have to, first we have to start afforestation. Okay. Then the systematic planting of suitable trees. Very important question. Very important statement. Now you may, in your examination also they will ask what is civilized forest. You must be able to answer that question. What is that? The systematic planting of suitable trees in every possible or even in impossible areas, and the development of what one call the civilized forest. The systematic plantation of the saplings in every possible, wherever it is possible and wherever even it is not possible, if we try to do something there, it means afforestation. That kind of forest we call civilized forest, man-made forest. Okay, and as distinguished from wild untamed jungles. So civilized forest will be different or special than the untamed. Untamed means what? The forest where untamed wild animals will be there. Wild animals will be there. Okay, it's one of the most urgent needs of India. Okay, such a plantation would be directly and indirectly prove a source of untold wealth to the country. So what happens if we do such kind of things? If we start doing these kind of civilized forest, what happens? The country will get the untold wealth. Untold wealth. Then they would check soil erosion and conserve the rainfall of the country and from the flowing away to the waste. If we already that how can we stop this soil erosion? Their important step is the making the plantation in the every possible and even in the impossible areas, right? That is only civilized forest. Okay, then we are moving to the 13th paragraph. The measures necessary to control to the movement of water and conserve the supplies of it can be also subsidiary purpose of value to the life of the countryside. So what they are saying, so there is another extra benefit when we conserve the water. What is that? By far the cheapest form of internal transport in a country is by boats and barrages through the canals and rivers. So if we conserve the water in that particular place, so we can also use that as the mode of transportation with the help of boats and fine. So here we hear much about programs of rail and road construction, but far too little about the development of internal waterways. So you might have heard about the many plans in the budget regarding the roadways and regarding the railways, right? So there is most of the time we do not hear anything about this waterways, internal waterways. Okay, then and also another advantage from the water conservation is we can also produce hydroelectric power. Hydroelectric means what? Hydro means water. From the water only we can produce the electricity. Okay, then the availability of electric power would make a tremendous difference to the life of the countryside and enable the rural economy to be improved in a various directions. Yes, of course, when we will be having electricity, if we have in the rural areas, they can also get the best use of that and can produce something for the country, right? Then in particular, it would be enable underground water to be tapped a greater extent than at present. If we save the water, if we conserve the water, if we store the water, what happens? The underground water capacity will be increased, right? So when you go with the bore wells, you will get a good water, right? Then and thus help to overcome the difficulties arising from irregularity and inadequacy of the other source of supply. So when you will be having a water, a stored water with you, so there will not be problem of any of the irrigation and all. Why? Because imagine if there is no good intensity of the rain this time, no problem. If you save the water from the earliest rain, that would help you, right? Then, so here we are at the 14th paragraph. Okay, in one sense, water is the commonest of all the liquids. Yes, it is also a common thing like every liquid, right? In another sense, it is the most uncommon of liquids with amazing properties which are responsible for its unique power of maintaining animals and plant life. So when you consider water as a liquid with the comparing to the other liquids, it's a liquid. When you go with its characteristics, it's really unique one. Why? Because we all are living, the plants are living, the animals are living, that is because of the water, right? That's what C.V. Raman says here. What he says, the water is the unique substance, right? And now the investigation of the nature and the properties of water is therefore of the highest scientific interest and is far from the exhausted field of research. So what C.V. Raman is saying here is, so how much if you study about the water, it's not exhaustible. Exhaustible means it is not going to be complete. Yes, we have to study a lot about the water, right? So I hope students you have clearly understood the 10th paragraph, 11th and 12th and 13th and 14th, right? So by this video we are completing the elixir of life. Okay, so students, I will send you the link of the question answers. You can also go through them. Okay, thank you students, thank you for watching this video.